Hello, future millionaires. This is Aztec, and this is the CSC. Today, I'm going to make it worth your while for being here. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate hanging out with you guys and letting you guys tell you what I think about the market and share things that you're not going to get anywhere else. For instance, I was one of the first people to talk about the XRP airdrop before anyone knew about it. And today we're going to talk about that again because the time is coming. So we're going to talk about XRP. We're going to talk about UniLend. You guys know I've talked about UniLend a lot recently. I've been on a rampage, but there's just so much to talk about. And there's something very bullish that Chandresh recently said. I want to go ahead and bring that up. And I want to give a general overview of the markets, talk about my thoughts, bring in some analytics and data, some things that you might not hear anywhere else, and we're going to do that today. So starting off, I like to go over this tweet by Crypto Daily, and he said, one of the first things new people entering or re-entering the crypto markets will do is first research it. It's very true. If you're going to buy some Bitcoin or you're going to do something new, you're going to go on Google and search and figure out what it's about. He says, search trends are 10x lower than previous highs. So this is very interesting to take note of, guys. Very interesting data. What this is saying is that here in 2020, the search history for Bitcoin has not gotten anywhere close to what we saw back in 2017 during the bull run. And he's saying, demonstrable proof that buying right now is likely done by the minority rich rather than the majority average. So I do agree with this point, guys. This bull run is the first of its kind. It's different than any other bull run. And if you're, a long-term holder, you have to look at this data, guys, because it's different. It's different, and this is going to play out differently. Specifically, what we're seeing right now is that retail, the true retail FOMO, has not even initiated, guys. It has not. And we can look at this data here, and we see here that the search criteria for Bitcoin is extremely low. It's not even close to what it was in 2017. This is directly correlated with price movement. We've seen this several times during these spikes where, people search and then let's say a week or a month later, price of Bitcoin moves. And we directly saw that in 2017. We have not seen any of search criteria movement through Google Analytics. You can look this up through Google Analytics for yourself. Put in a keyword. This is the keyword here, Bitcoin, for this piece of information, this graph. And basically, we haven't seen retail jump in. This market is supported by the rich. This is institutional players coming in. This is, the minority rich, as Crypto Daily is saying, the guy that's, possibly buying $10,000 worth of Bitcoin a week. The big institutional players that have been buying millions and millions of dollars at a time. This speculation, this price movement, this structure is being put into place by the minority rich, not the majority average, not retail. And that's important to notice because, number one, retail is going to come at some point. First you have the accumulation phase of, institutional players, and then you have a distribution phase. At that point, that's when retail will, unfortunately, jump on. It will, kind of get the scraps of everything. That's kind of how these kind of things happen. But what's interesting is that this is just going to play out very different. And kind of going along with this, there was a famous YouTuber that asked this question. He said, what do you think is going to happen when Bitcoin hits those highs again? 20K, 25, 30K in this case, possibly. Are we going to get this kind of like 2017 massive correction or crash, however you want to put it, where, it hit 20K and then just bombed, Are we going to see that again? And I wanted to answer this. I want to say I don't think so. I really don't. Now, nothing I talk about is financial advice, but the reason I don't think so is because the type of players that are jumping in are long-term holders. These guys are people that have very strong hands. They may take profits, but it's not the type of retail type of weak hand corrections that we're going to see. So are we going to see these massive corrections? 60%, 40%. I don't think so. I really think that what we may see is, 5, 10s, maybe a 30% maximum when the time comes. But what will really cause that to happen, especially, like a 30%, it would have to be either a black swan event, possibly, when they finally start taking some type, the institutional players start taking some type of profits, may cause the retail players that have finally jumped on to, cause them to, have weak hands like they do and sell, and might get this type of larger correction. But in general, usually when institutional players truly jump in, guys, what I've seen, especially with like gold, and when gold got a ETF, you just see this really steady grind upwards until they've really got their fill of the institutional players get their fill of what they wanted to make off the investment. But a lot of these institutional players that are buying right now, they're hedging, and they're really looking at this as a long-term type play. So I think that the whole dynamic is different here. And, retail hasn't really even jumped on board. So the weak hands really haven't even jumped on board. This whole movement is happening by the minority rich. Very interesting to look at. And if you want to take a look at this data, you can go on Google. You can put, Google Analytics, search criteria, put in Bitcoin. And you can search and see, at some point when retail is going to jump in, you'll probably see this start spiking up again. That'll kind of give you a general idea of where we're at on this timeline that I'm suggesting right now, speculating. And just really important to look at, guys. If you don't use Google Analytics, please use it. I'm probably one of the only people that does. Now, I'd like to kind of go over the charts here. If we're looking at Bitcoin, we're going to get this, correction that people are talking about. People are saying, 12K lower. I don't know, guys. These institutional players have really strong hands. I think if we get a pullback, I think we get a pullback probably to about $15,650. And if we get that, it would actually be really bullish because it'll give the indicators a little cool off, give us that extra added boost so that we break this recent high right around $16,500. But even if we don't, I really suspect that we break this high soon. I imagine in December or end of November. And definitely interesting to look at. We also have to look at the Bitcoin dominance, and if we move over to a daily chart, you can see that Bitcoin has struggled to break this trend line that has stemmed all the way back here. Every time it's hit this trend line, it's pulled back. The dominance of Bitcoin is pulled back, which gave room for altcoins to rally. And I suspect that we get that again here, just because you see it struggling to break above. But I guess if there's some massive FOMO for Bitcoin, it could break this. But if it doesn't, and the dominance starts moving down, definitely look at some, new positions in altcoins if you don't have them, because that generally suggests, not financial advice, of course, but it does generally suggest an altcoin rally. So Bitcoin dominance is also something to look at. And you do want to keep your eye on the money supply chart, because whoever the president is and will be, if they print more stimulus, which, this is, and even like Trump, he said that there would be more stimulus after the election. It's after the election. So if you see more stimulus being printed, this is going to jump up. the dollar index. The value of the dollar is probably going to come down. The dollar doesn't look overly strong right now anyways. So as the dollar comes down, you can see assets come up, Bitcoin, the crypto, world, and, altcoins, everything. So DeFi, all these things. So definitely keep your eye on these charts. Look out for more stimulus. Look out for the Google Analytics and the news, because it's obviously all really bullish right now. So let's move on to XRP. December 12th. That's the date, guys. You guys have to keep this on your radar. Not saying jump in on this. I'm saying do your own research. Look into this. This is interesting to me because it is a catalyst. So Spark distribution, Airdrop. This is the Flare network that is associated with the XRP project that is going to airdrop their Spark tokens to XRP holders. The way you participate is by holding your XRP on a designated wallet exchange. If you self-custody, it has to be a specific type of wallet. So when the snapshot happens, you are within the snapshot. Now, it says December 12th, Flare Network Spark distribution for XRP holders. And if you don't know, if you don't use the CoinMarketCap website, if you're new, take a look at it. It's a website that allows you to input the ticker symbol, and it gives you news, especially generally big news that's going to happen for a project. So this is definitely a site to use. And here, we have XRP, and this is pretty interesting because, it's confirmed. You see there's sources, there's proof, there's a bunch of votes for this. So it's definitely something happening. I've done a lot of other research, but besides that, this looks very bullish. This is a very bullish catalyst. Now, December 12th is actually a very interesting date. Real quick, we'll just look at this chart. This is XRP to BTC. And right back here in 2017, before XRP launched like crazy into the stratosphere, if we zoom in, you actually see that it bottomed out. XRP bottomed out in 2017 on the 6th, and on the the 12th here, you actually see that it was a massive rally initiated. And if we zoom back out, we can see this rally, was extremely huge. We look at our price tool; it's approximately about a 2,000%. Move. So December 12th is just a very interesting date to me, and for them to do this airdrop. And if you want to know more about it, I would definitely suggest taking a look at this tweet. I'll link it down below for you guys. This is a tweet by Panda Ripple XRP, and he says tons of questions for Spark airdrop by Flare Network. Hope this compilation of Q&A tweets will help. And he talks about how to receive Spark, how to self-custody, extra Spark. No, there's not. The extra Spark that is not claimed is, I believe, just going to get burnt. And this part of the tweet is very interesting to me. It's Jed McCaleb getting Spark tokens too. The answer is no, short answer. But if you don't know who Jed McCaleb is and why this is relevant, he is the co-founder of XRP. He later on moved on to create XLM, Stellar. Very big name in the space, and basically they're saying he's not going to get any of the Spark tokens that are going to be airdropped. And this is very important because he holds a pretty good amount of XRP, and everyone kind of knows that he sells it here and there. And I don't think it's a really big deal, but psychologically it's not that great for investors. And the Flare Network is saying that his wallet is essentially not going to receive this airdrop, and that's just really positive for the Spark tokens. And if you don't know what Spark is it's a token that's going to help XRP utilize the Ethereum smart contracts, and there's going to be some interoperability, and this is a really big deal, guys, for the space. It will probably affect other markets, with XRP now jumping into smart contracts and things like that. Via Spark token. This is going to be huge. So you have to keep your eye on this because it could affect many aspects like DeFi and just other aspects of this space. And there are some supported exchanges already that you can use. BitTrue is pretty decent. eToro, Nexo, Uphold, some that I know. But if you're new to crypto, you're looking for something very intuitive, easy to use. Celsius is actually the easiest one, and in my opinion, the best out of the options that actually support the XRP, essentially the Spark token airdrop. So moving on, let's look at UniLend, guys. UniLend, I can't speculate on price because I work directly with the project. So, I'll just show you the chart. It's not financial advice. I'm not trying to do that, but basically, UniLend has done amazing since the inception, since the public sell, the TGE, and it just kind of moves up, has little pullbacks, moves up, pullbacks, moves up, pullback. I guess the question is, are we going to spike up like crazy? I'll leave that up to you guys. But what I think is interesting is that there's some really big things happening and going to happen in the near future for UniLend. For instance, they are going to have their DEX protocol launch, and this is a protocol that is going to outcompete all the other layer one DeFi protocols that are out there, like Maker and Compound. And there's a DeFi dissected articles that are coming out that kind of explain and compare UniLend and these protocols and explain why UniLend is better and can outcompete these protocols. So you got to take a look at their announcement channel on Telegram if you want to find those articles easily. But in general, it's happening like recently. There's a tweet from UniLend Finance, and it says, welcoming real-world assets to DeFi. After welcoming every token to DeFi, we are expanding our horizon by welcoming real-world assets to DeFi, starting with gold and silver. Starting, keyword. Gold and silver, huge, because any type of DeFi project that's adding, the added element of real-world assets, I think is definitely unique and going to create its own, extra added bonus to the DeFi space. And here you go. You have UniLend Finance doing this and bringing gold and silver. This is not something that I know of that's even on a protocol at this time. So this is awesome to see Oro Pocket or Open DeFi teaming up with UniLend Finance to be able to offer this and starting. So keyword, possibly more real world assets to come. Very interesting for UniLend. And again, the DEX protocol is coming soon, so there's a lot of speculation behind that. Added utility for the UFT token. And recently, Chandresh, if you don't know who he is the main guy with UniLend. He is the co-founder, and he says UniLend Finance ecosystem is growing rapidly, which it is. You can check their announcement channel. There's all kinds of things happening all the time. He says our biggest goal is to support as large of a user base as possible. And essentially what he's saying is that they're not just looking for a little niche of DeFi here. They're looking to support all of DeFi and expand DeFi. Huge. He's also saying we are gladly providing all required technical support to teams wishing to integrate our platform. So, you have crypto locally here. You have Open DeFi, like we were just talking about. They're going to be supporting these players that want to work with them. This is huge, very huge. It really just means that probably more people are going to want to work with them. And he says, stay tuned for more on this in coming days. So, do your own research, but what does that usually mean? There's going to be probably more big partnerships, more things to come. And I'm just overall very excited about this project. This project is hot. And, I can't talk too much about price. I can't speculate. But what I will say is that, this market cap for UniLend is super small in comparison to, the other types of protocols out there like Uniswap and, Compound and, their governance tokens, have millions and billions of dollars invested in them. UniLend Finance is, has a very small market cap. So there's, it's just something interesting to think about, guys. very interesting to think about, especially knowing that UniLend could definitely outcompete pretty much any other layer 1 DeFi project at this time. So very, very interesting. Let me know what you think about my overlay here. This is a new overlay that I've created for my new computer. Let me know if you think Bitcoin is going to crash. We're going to see some kind of black swan event. There's all these talking heads saying these kind of things. Or are we just going to keep moving up? Are we going to blast to 20K? Let me know what you think. And it's been great hanging out with you guys. Never give up on the future of money. Take it easy, guys.